consumers. But this Greek like Hippocrates as well as Indian Ayurveda system of medicine asserted it was thought that persons with black boil belonged to a hot personality and would have fevers. But this idea discovery of blood circulation by William Harvey using experimental method and demonstration of normal body temperature, this idea was disproved. And the health can affected by three three states. Example, first one is genetic disorders, deficiency with which a child is born, and deficiencies or defect which the child inherits from parents from birth, and infections and lifestyle including food and water we take. And health is not a mean of only absence of disease. It is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. When people are healthy, this increases productivity and brings economic prosperity. Health also increases longevity of people and reduces the infant and maternal mortality. Balanced diet and personal hygiene and regular exercises are very important to maintain good health. And diseases, there are two types of diseases, infectious and non-infectious. Diseases which can easily transmitted from person to person, call it as infectious diseases, and non-infectious diseases which cannot transfer from one person to another person very easily, like cancer is an example. And disease causing organisms are called as a pathogen. And pathogen have to adapt to life within the environment of the host. For example, the pathogen that enter the gut must know a way to surviving in the stomach at low pH and assisting the various digestive enzymes. And typhoid. Salmonella typhi is a pathogenic bacterium which causes typhoid fever in human beings. These pathogens generally enter the small intestine through food and water contaminated with them and migrate to other organs through blood. And sustained high fever 39 to 40 degrees Celsius, weakness, stomach pain, constipation, headache, and loss of appetite are the symptoms of the typhoid fever. And typhoid fever can be confirmed by the test called Vidal test. Vidal test, a classical case in medicine, that of Mary Malone, nicknamed Typhoid Mary, is worth mentioning. She was a cook by profession and was a typhoid carrier who continued to spread typhoid for several years through the food she prepared. Next one is pneumonia. Pneumonia caused by bacteria like Streptococcus pneumoniae and Haemophilus influenzae, and in humans which infects the alveoli, air-filled sacs of the lungs, and alveoli get filled with a fluid leading to the several problems in respiration. Symptoms are fever, chills, cough, and headache. In severe cases, lips and fingernails may turn grey to bluish in color. And healthy person can acquire by inhaling droplets of infected person or even sharing glasses and utensils of infected person. And dysentery, plague, diphtheria, etc. These are the some examples of bacterial diseases in man. And next one is common cold. Rhinoviruses. It is a one such group of virus, and this is this is called common cold. It infects nose and respiratory passage, but not lungs, and is characterized by nasal congestion, discharge, sore throat, hoarseness, cough, and headache. Usually 3 to 7 days. And healthy person can acquire this by sneeze of infected person or either inhaled directly or transmitted to the contaminated object such as pen, books, etc. And malaria. Malaria, a disease man has been fighting since many years. Plasmodium, a tiny protozoa, is responsible for this disease. Different species of Plasmodium, P. vivax, P. malaria, and P. falciparum, are responsible for different types of malaria. And let us take a glance of life cycle of Plasmodium. First, Plasmodium enters the human body as sporozoites. It is an infectious form of the Plasmodium to the bite of infected female Anopheles mosquito. The parasite initially multiply within the liver cells asexually and then attacks the red blood cells, resulting in the rupture. The rupture of RBC is associated with release of a toxic substance called hemojoin. It is responsible for the chill and high fever recurring every 3 to 4 days. And when a female mosquito bites an infected person, these parasites enter the mosquito's body and undergo further development. The parasites multiply within them to form sporozoites that are stored in their salivary glands. When these mosquitoes bite a human, the sporozoites are introduced into her body or his body, thereby initiating the events or recycle. Means first plasmodium enters a body as sporozoites. Means sporozoites are the infectious form through the bite. When the parasites enter, initially these are multiply within the liver cells and after attack to the red blood cells and resulting in their rupturing. The rupture of RBC then form a toxic substance called hemogen, which is responsible for the chill and high fever recurring. That's all. When female Anopheles mosquito bites an infected person, it will take up all the uh, sporozoites like that, and that fertilization happen in gut of the parasite only, and the cycle will be repeated. And stages in the life cycle of Plasmodium. First, when when the parasite sporozoites, it is an infectious form of the parasite, reaches the liver cells through the blood. Hmm. After these parasites are produced asexually in liver cells, bursting the cell and releasing into the blood. After these are entered into the red blood cells, and parasites produce asexually in red blood cells also and bursting the red blood cells and causing the cycle of fever, other symptoms. Release parasite infect no new blood cells. And sexual stage of gametocytes develop in red blood cells only. And these gametocytes are taken up by the mosquito, another mosquito when it is bites to the infected person. And fertilization and development takes place in the mosquito's gut, and these are stored in the salivary glands. And when the mosquito bites another human, sporozoites are injected with bite, and the cycle will be repeated. And next one is amoebiasis, amoebic dysentery. And disease causing organism is Entamoeba histolytica. It is a protozoan parasite in the large intestine. Symptoms of these diseases is constipation, abdominal pain, cramps, stools with excess mucus and blood clots. And mechanical carriers is the houseflies. And mode of transmission is contaminated food, contaminated water. These are the source of infections. And next one is Ascaris. The common roundworm and Wuchereria and the filial worm are some of the helminthes which are known to be pathogenic to man. Ascaris is an intestinal parasite. It causes ascariasis. Symptoms are internal bleeding, muscular pain, fever, anemia, and blockage of the intestinal passage. Eggs of the parasite are also excreted along with the feces of infected person. And healthy person can acquire this by contaminated water, vegetable, fruits. Next one is Wuchereria. W. Brancofti, W. malai. The filial worms cause a slowly developing chloric information of the organs. Usually lymphatic vessels of the lower limbs, and the disease is called as elephantiasis or filariasis. Genetic organs are affected in this disease. And a healthy person can acquire this by through bite of female mosquito vector. Ascariasis and elephantiasis both are caused by a worm, that is common roundworm and wuchereria. Symptoms of ascariasis is muscular pain, fever, anemia, blockage of the intestinal passage, and symptoms of the elephantiasis is lower limbs and lymphatic vessels, genetic organs are affected and resulting in gross deformities. Next one is ringworms. It is caused by a fungus. Belong to genera Microsporum, Trichophyton and Epidermophyton. And it is appearance of dry scaly lesions on various parts of the body, such as skin, nails and scalp. Are the symptoms of this disease. Heat and moisture help this fungi to grow. And these are generally acquired by from soil or by using towels, cloths or even the comb of infected individuals. And maintenance of personal and public hygiene is very important. Personal hygiene means it includes keeping our body clean, consumption of clean drinking water, food, vegetable, fruits, etc. Public hygiene means proper disposal of waste and excreta and periodic cleaning of disinfection of water reservoirs, pools, cesspools, tanks, etc. And these are essential where the infection agents are transmitted to the food and water, such as typhoid amoebiasis and ascariasis. In typhoid amoebiasis and ascariasis, the disease is transmitted to the mode of transmission is contaminated food and contaminated water. But airborne diseases such as pneumonia, common cold, in addition to these measures, we can avoid the closeness or close contact with the infected person or their belongings should be avoided. And belongings should be avoided for diseases such as malaria, filariasis. uh, these are transmitted to the insect vectors. We should eliminate the breeding places and vectors. This can be achieved by avoiding stagnant of water in and around residential area and regular cleaning of household coolers. We should clean regularly our coolers, and we should use mosquito nets and introduce the fish like gambusia in ponds that feed on mosquito larvae, and spraying insecticides in ditches, etc. And in addition, doors and windows should be provided with wire mesh to prevent the entry of mosquitoes. Such widespread incidence of the vector-borne Aedes mosquitoes diseases like dengue and chikungunya in many parts of India. Means Aedes mosquito causes dengue and chikungunya. And large number of other diseases like polio, diphtheria, pneumonia, and tetanus have been controlled to a large extent by the use of vaccines.